was it starting already?
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay, cool. So terrorism is one of the most focused topics discussed globally that has been frequently occurring all around the world. Unfortunately, like earlier today in San Bernardino, there's been 14 victims that have been killed just this morning. So terrorism uses violence and intimidation in pursuit of political aims to benefit a group's belief and ideas. The primary focuses of terrorism today are in Syria and Iraq, followed by the extremist group of Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, also known as ISIS, for the many brutal actions and occurrences that jeopardizes countless of people today. The argument we focus on is in regards to whether we, the United States, should substantially expand its military operations against ISIS in Syria and Iraq. It would be an ideal to intervene with ISIS to lower and minimize terrorism, to prevent additional violence, domination, and much more. The significance of this action would assist many innocent civilians to live with their natural human rights without having to seek for refuge or live in fear. First off, many innocent civilians have been murdered for irrational reasons, ISIS dominance, or even for leisure. ISIS revealed several high-budget footages of brutal murders of Syrian victims with sophisticated editing that also showed their income to afford the equipment they used to the quality of video production. One of the most viral footage ISIS produced was of a Jordanian pilot who crash-landed near Raqqa, Syria, and was captured hostage. Islamic State extremists released a horrific video on Tuesday, showing a Jordanian pilot being burned to death in a cage by his captors, an execution that drew international condemnation and vow from President Obama to redouble efforts to destroy the terrorist group, stated by Washington Times. Another footage released was of 7 victims handcuffed behind their backs and placed on their knees in orange jumpsuits. They were all interlinked with explosive death necklaces and recorded raw footages of victims obliterated in slow motion. The most recent trending terrorist attack many of us are aware of occurred in France. An article written in Telegraph of United Kingdom's states there were 7 coordinated terror attacks in Paris carried out by militants, killing at least 130 people, from Telegraph articles. At least one Californian was killed amongst those people, a Cal State Long Beach student named Naomi Gonzalez, who was studying abroad, while a number of Bay Area residents on business or leisure were close enough to attacks the field of terror, stated in Mercury News. This shows how citizens are still affected by ISIS even though they may be on the other side of the world. Second, Syrian refugees are forced to leave their country for apparent reasons: life. In this civil war, there are more than 200,000 fatalities ever since the war started that have occurred and can rapidly increase anytime, anywhere, and to anyone. Half of the Syrians have fled home since war began, CNN stated. Imagine every man, woman, and child leaving home in 29 states, mostly in the U.S., West and Midwest. That's everyone west of Ohio and Kentucky and north of Texas, all the way to California. The 158 million people in those states make up same share of the U.S. population of 49%. As the proportion of Syrians that have fled carnage there, the war in Syria is so hellish and unrelenting that more people have left that country than any other recent years. One of every 5 displaced persons in the world is Syrian, stated by CNN. There are a significant amount of people dying in an attempt to escape from terrorism for many different reasons as well. According to the New York Times, at least 28,000 civilians have died in shootings and mass killings. At least 27,000 civilians were killed in mortar, artillery, and rocket attacks, and at least 9,000 civilians were killed after being kidnapped, detained, or tortured. Keep in mind, there are only a portion of these are the only portion of causes of death in Syria. When trying to seek refuge, the relocation of many Syrians also causes them to overpopulate local countries. 4.1 million Syrians are registered refugees, and most of them are living in neighboring countries such as Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, and Egypt. The number of Syrians seeking safety in Europe has more than doubled in the past year. And also, the United States has resettled 1,500 Syrian refugees since the start of the conflict in 2011. That's the vast majority of them this year. Lastly, terrorism has influenced many individuals from around the world to affiliate with ISIS. It is causing individuals to want to join ISIS from countries that are on the other side of the world. This causes terrorism to slowly expand and become more frequent globally. On ABC News, they state that a 19-year-old Mississippi student who is accused of attempting to travel to Syria to join ISIS is a smart, kind, and bubbly person, according to a college friend. She herself is not Muslim and comes from an African descent. On Al Rabia article, there are 3 British schoolgirls who believe to have joined the Islamic State of the ISIS group in the Middle East. They may have escaped the Islamic militants and are searching for them. And on New York Daily News, a Virginia high school student has been sentenced to 11 years of prison for helping another teen fly to Syria to join ISIS and for tweeting about supporting the terrorist group. With the footages that ISIS provides publicly, it empowers individuals to view the same perspectives as terrorists do in Iraq and Syria, which leads them to believing it is acceptable. Now, many would question, why is it necessary for us to expand military intervention towards ISIS? Without military intervention, ISIS growth rate increases significantly rapidly. It is now considered to be a full-fledged army while being world's wealthiest extremist group. By allowing ISIS to perform attacks globally, it empowers them to continue to expand and recruit additional individuals from other countries and creating more allies and revenue for income. There are a variety of methods to initiate solution. Recently, Senator John McCain proposed 10,000 U.S. ground troops in Syria to crush the Islamic State and blames President Barack Obama's lack of leadership and strategy for the phenomena of ISIS, according to Newsmax. So far, President Obama has taken the initiative in focusing on putting an end to this terrorism. Unfortunately, we ourselves do not have power in taking control of whether we intervene or not. But what we can do is support the opportunity for us to provide military intervention to stop Middle Eastern terrorism.
You've used 1 minute of prep time.